What's up, guys? Welcome back to Project Time Garage. Today we're going to reseal the fuel bowl for a 7.3 PowerStroke diesel. This video is going to be part of a larger video series on the Project F2Hooptie here that we're doing quite a bit of stuff under the hood, and this was one of the things, so we broke it out into a separate video. If you haven't checked out the other videos on that little series, I'll put a link up there, but there's also a larger video series to the entire truck. See, my buddy bought this truck for 500 bucks and then sold it to another buddy for $1,200, and we're currently working on this thing. So anyway, go check out those two video series and let's get this thing on the bench, get it resealed. Go easy on me because I'm not a professional, I'm not a shop, I don't do this for a living. I'm just a DIY shade tree guy that I've done a couple of these, and my buddy's truck, he wants some help doing it, so I'm doing it. So anyway, I'll fumble through it a little bit, but we'll get it done. This is the reseal kit from Riff Raff for, there's your part number down there, GZ-7-003. I'm not sponsored for any of this stuff. All of this stuff was bought with dude's money. So anyway, let's tear this thing apart and let's have a look at it. But first, they sent a really nice list of the O-rings and the actual size of each O-ring. You can lay it up there and see that that's, you know, that's the right one. And it explains to you what it does. So what I typically like to do is I'll lay all of them out in the order that they were. The twos are side by side and the singles are just one. And pretty much it just is a matter of pulling the thing apart. And once we get it all apart, we'll go ahead and clean it up really well and slam it back together. This is a pretty quick process. All right, so the cap first, pre-loosened. This is the Ford OE cap. Big O-ring, fuel filter. Notice the filter itself is pretty clean. How many miles are on this filter?
20,000.
About 20,000, something like that. It's actually really clean, and we've done the fuel filter, the external fuel filter under the truck, so that helps out a bunch. But what you'll find is in the bottom of these things where the fuel bowl heater is, they just get grungy and gross. So we'll take some time and clean all that up while we're here. All right, so we'll start with the inlet.
Pretty dirty.
Yep. Yeah, you can pull it off, won't you? Actually, let's leave it on there. That way when we go back together with it, I'm just going to put all the O-rings kind of where they live, and then we'll come back. Make it a little easier. All right, that is as broken down as we need to get it. Pretty much, I've taken everything off except the two brass fittings that are pipe threads. So now it's time to get a bath. Okay, our fuel bowl is cleaned up and looking a lot better than what it did before. So let's start going back together with it. So the check valve tower O-ring is the first one we'll do, because I'm going to put that whole assembly back in it. And I'll lay them back out on my cardboard over here as I pull them off. Next easy thing is these will be these bowl plugs, 2 of those. Next, we'll put the fuel bowl heater assembly back in place. see that.
That's the big one. 3. Hole plugs are done. 4 is done. 5, not yet. 6, fuel drain stem, not yet. Check valve seat. 8.
Does this not come with another O-ring? That's amazing to me. This thing is just dying to go under a fingernail. So that's in there. That with a new O-ring is in here. This is in here. Right. Next thing is going to be the drain, fuel bowl drain. There's actually a couple of O-rings in here in this assembly. So to get it apart, you can put your well, that's a faster. You can put your lever back on it. You can turn it, and when you turn it to the right spot, you'll see that it's flat on one side. And when it's flat like that, you can push the whole assembly out. This is the one we're looking for, this O-ring right here. And it only goes back together one way, so you can't really mess that up. Just make sure all the flat pieces are still flat, and you should be able to push it back in place. Twist it a little bit, that should seat back in there. Then we have a couple of big O-rings that go in there to seal it to the base. This lever is keyed, it only goes in one way. Oops, I forgot some stuff here. I forgot this guy and this guy. Ball bearing. All right, that's pretty much it. It's sealed back up. Everything's been used. Nice and clean. Time to go back on the truck. Again, I'll put a link up there to the video series where we're doing all the work on this truck today.